Welcome back, everybody, to our ongoing coverage here of the Canada Winter Games. Thank you for joining us here on CBC Gem. If you're just joining us, it's the women's gold medal game in women's curling between Alberta and Nova Scotia. I'm joined alongside multi-time Brier and world champion Craig Saville. Craig, 4 ends in the books. We're deadlocked at 3. Nova Scotia with the hammer. Technically, we're right back where we started from. It's been a back and forth affair. Take us through what you saw those first 4 ends.
Yeah, it went from an 8-end game to a 4-end game, didn't it? And we're still tied up, but yeah, it's been some great shots early on in this game, and lots of rocks in play. And we saw, Alberta really taking them to them, at the start of the ends. But then the Nova Scotia playing some great double peels to get out of trouble and to open some things up. So it's probably going to be the same going forward here. Alberta just trying to keep the pressure on, and Nova Scotia, really their game plan is make sure they don't give up a steal here. Scoring next is pretty important in this game, and you'll have control of the game if you score next. So they've got to have the mentality of opening this up and give Sophie a shot for a hit or a draw. She's been really good this game, and just give the skipper a shot to the 8-foot.
Here is Nova Scotia lead with her first one. Alexis Clooney. What a great shot there. Is that where they wanted to put that one as it stops just half in the 4-foot?
Yeah, that is a beauty. That's about half buried right there, and a real good spot and a real good start. Always important to get those rocks, the first few rocks, in a good position so you don't have your team kind of on the back pedal and playing defensive. You always want to make your shots easier and make the opponent's shots harder, but you also want to stay on the offense. If you keep playing defense, it's hard to score points when you're making your teammates throw runbacks or doubles or hit and rolls to get out of things. We want to play some offensive shots, so that's a great start for Nova Scotia, putting in a great spot.
Well, we talked about before the game, Craig, about game plans and perhaps how we felt both teams might come out and how they want to play this game. And I asked you straight up, are they going to come out guns a-blazing, or are they going to kind of ease their way into it? And they certainly answered that for us. Lots of guards, lots of rocks in play. This whole game, even that blank end we saw, at one point there was 4 or 5 rocks in the house. So it's been all offense and 3 great shots from both leads here to get us started here in the 5th end.
And yeah, it's nice to see those the 2 skips are not afraid to mix it up, and that's just confidence in the team and a confidence in themselves too, that they know if they have to draw against 3 or 4 that they're going to make it most times. So great to see out of these 2 teams, and pretty fun for us fans to be able to watch this.
So here's Clooney with her second Nova Scotia lead, trying to put this one on top of the yellow. Sweepers trying to bring it as far as they can. That one will stop a little short, but looks like a pretty good spot, Craig.
Yeah, good line anyways. They obviously wanted that a couple more feet to be frozen against the yellow, but it's a nice trouble shot. If you can control that zone right in front of the button, that 4-foot, 8-foot, 12-foot, you control that zone right there, you're going to win a lot of games and put some pressure on the other team.
There you see Alberta second stone, Chloe Fediu.
She can just see all of this. This is pretty much edge on edge right here. She got to be pretty precise here.
So Alberta looking to move some granite here. Looks like they feel like the angles are in their favor, Craig. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're just trying to move some things around.
Is that what they were hoping for?
No, they were just trying to hit the yellow one straight back, and they just clipped, the red. They were trying to hit the red one on the top 12, and they just clipped the guard and spilled that red one in. I don't know if I love that shot, just because if you ever hit the guard, it's that was kind of your pressure rock, the guard up there. And so Nova Scotia's sort of liking their position now because they don't have any guards up, and it's really Alberta's needs to start pressing to get someone to score or get a steal here.
Nova Scotia lying one with an Alberta rock right on top of them. They're drawn to the side of the 12-foot, hoping to lie 1, 3, and 4.
Spreading these rocks out, hoping that there's no double. Don't need to worry about that top yellow one right now. If you hit that one, you're going to hit your red one out. So they can deal with that a little bit later on in the end. Maybe third's second rock or something.
Mila Plett signaling to make a play on that top yellow. Nova Scotia lies one here in the 5th.
Yeah, she's trying to double here off her own. Get rid of the 2 red ones.
Here's Fediuk trying to move some rocks around once again.
Good sweep. She just made the one and set up a double as well here. It's pretty thin. She's gonna have to be hard to keep the shooter around. Should just go under that far right rock as well.
So here's Stephanie Atherton once again. She's been very solid with her hitting ability so far in this gold medal game.
Yeah, she certainly has. She's made some great shots this game. This is important though to stick around. That's the first goal, is to make sure that rock doesn't roll out.
Able to get those 2 yellow, but jams on the back. So Nova Scotia lying 2, but leaving that yellow one in the back of the 12-foot for Alberta.
Yeah, so the angle was bad for us here. Didn't realize that was going to jam. If they had seen that, then not playing the double, but obviously didn't realize that one was going to jam. So unfortunately, that yellow one stayed around. The good news is, though, is those 2 red ones are frozen together, and they will be really tough to remove both here. The good news is I think Nedwin can throw harder than her dad. Her dad wasn't known for the high hard one.
You said it, not me, Greg.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Okay. I'll give him that he's probably got the best touch. But he wasn't known for the high hard one. Sure. Well, good shot. I don't think that red one was ever going to go out. So now Nova Scotia, a great opportunity here to spread these rocks out. If she can throw into the right here of our screen and line it up with the other red one, it won't be a double. And we're going to have to make a couple of hit and rolls here to try to get these rocks grouped together. Great opportunity for Nova Scotia to score 2 in this end.
So some of those at home who might not watch the sport very often, Greg, they might look at this and wonder why that they're choosing to draw in with those 2 yellow ones. Could they not hit one of those yellow rocks?
Yeah, they certainly could, but drawing is easier than hitting. You can be way more precise and put it into the perfect spot way easier than it would be for hitting. And really those yellow rocks are helping red right now, because the red rocks could jam on those yellow rocks. So they're happy to keep those around right now. They've got the hammer too, so no danger right now for those 2.
So perhaps an opportunity to, maybe greedy's the wrong word, but roll the dice a little bit and maybe set up a potential 3.
Quite possibly. So they're going to have a big mistake for Alberta to get 3 here. But Alberta's going to want to roll this as far over as they can. Oh, that's a great shot. What they're just trying to do is they're trying to make sure the rocks are as close as they can together, the 2 red ones. As soon as she hits this one, they're just trying to set up a double later on. So hoping Nova Scotia noses this, or even rolls a little bit towards the right.
So Alberta lying 1. Here's Kate Wiesent. Third stone for Nova Scotia, her last here in the 5th end. No mistake.
Nice hit there, and unfortunately there's no double because of those yellow ones. That yellow one on the far right side is blocking any double attempt that they could be making. So that's why they didn't hit, to avoid any doubles later on in the end. So big shot here. Try to get out of this end where they're going to need a good hit and roll. So they're gonna try to hit and roll towards the other rocks and try to get this slightly buried if they can behind the red one.
So here's Mila Plett, her first to skip rocks here in the 5th end. These teams so calm, cool, and collected too, Craig, it seems, as this game goes on. Obviously, you'd be mistaken if there wasn't any nerves creeping in, but certainly dealing with them.
If there are nerves, they're certainly not showing them just yet. I feel like I'm more nervous than they are right now.
Sweepers haven't even looked at this one yet. Chance to make the double, not able to make contact, and there's a mistake from Alberta, and a chance for Nova Scotia now to draw in and lie 3.
Shoot, we just talked about nerves, and I think she just sort of overthrew it and was trying to be a little bit too aggressive with the hit and roll, knowing that was their only way out of getting a deuce. But she had to make solid contact and get rid of that red one.
There you see Coach Andrew Atherton out, his first of these coach interactions.
Yeah. You see, he likes to. He certainly calls more interactions than Blair, the coach for Alberta. He likes to talk to his team a little bit more and just make sure that they're all on the same page of where to put this rock. And this is an important one. Trying to find a spot here. You're not going to avoid a double, but where's the spot where it could be a double would be the hardest.
It's pretty impossible to take away any double takeout, but you just want to put it in the spot where it's the most difficult to execute it.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. And if they make the double, then if they do, then the rock's wide open and you've got an open hit for 2. That's important.
This rock now looking to stop in the rings, but it seems to have lots of speed, needs to sit, needs to put on the brakes in a hurry. Alberta trying to drag it right through. It's in the back 12, but it will settle down, and Nova Scotia lies 3.
Whoa. That was scary times for Sophie watching that one, and the dreaded sweep, but it was a good thing it stopped right in the back 12. So, and really a good spot now with that rock being back there. So she's got sort of 2 double options, but they're both tough. So she could go off the one she just touched there, off the 4-foot and go into the back one, but it's really skinny, so it's not hitting very much. Or they've got the rock in the top 12 that they could run back to the one that's in the back 12. They could do that as well.
Here's Coach Lenton out for a coach interaction here.
So yeah, they could hit that rock that's in the far right, the red one, and run that back to the one that's in the middle. They could make that for the double. They could also hit the rock that's in the 4-foot and just roll over in front of the rock that's in the back 12. They could do that just to make the hit harder and maybe force them to one if they ended up hitting onto the nose and jamming it. So couple options, and unfortunately no great options here. You always get to leave the opposition a shot for at least 2 here. So it's up to the skipper of what she's kind of seeing in her eye and what she thinks she can make.
So at this point, she's not thinking about keeping her shooter around. She's just thinking simply eliminate as many red rocks as possible.
Yeah. With this call, yeah, absolutely. So she's going to hit on the outside, so her shooter's going to go screaming out of the house and hit the side. So she's just trying to make this double, the one on the far right and the one in the middle. She's trying to make that double, and then give Nova Scotia a draw for 2. Not much else you can do in this situation.
So it's double or nothing.
Well, not nothing. It'll be a lot. 2 or 3 anyways.
So here she is, Mila Plett, with her last one, trying a slash double. Looking to eliminate 2 red rocks here. Sweepers haven't put a lick to it yet. She's able to make contact. Will they be able to spill it out? Oh. No, that one will stick around, and it's a draw for 3 now for Nova Scotia.
Oh, good try. She so close to that. I mean, that's if she hits maybe a millimeter less, she makes that double, and maybe even a couple licks from the sweepers to keep that a little bit straighter. They could have gone over the top and made that. Now a huge opportunity to break this game open and for another 3 in the game.
Sophie Blades, the skip from Nova Scotia. Her last here in 5. Needs full 12-foot to score 3 points and put her team up 6-3. Sweepers on it early, keeping brooms down, keep debris out of the way.
Yeah, anything close, I'm sure the sweepers will stay on it, and as I say that, they get right off it, so they must not love it.
Rock's starting to put the brakes on here, needs to slow down. Alberta's out trying to bring it back, but it'll settle right there in the 8-foot, and it's 3 points on the board for Team Nova Scotia as they take a 6-3 lead going into the 6th end.
Yeah, wow, just they capitalized on a couple of mistakes from Alberta, and it was right from second stone when they were trying that the double, and they ended up clipping their center guard and opening everything up, and sort of gave Nova Scotia really an open end, and then the flash by Mila with her first one was a bit of a dagger for that end.
So Craig, I asked you this question earlier in the broadcast about right after Nova Scotia took that 3 in the first end, and how do you bounce back? How do you approach this end? If you're coaching this team, what do you tell them? And the answer was simple: stay focused, stick to the game plan. But last time I asked you, they had 7 ends to bounce back. Now they only have 3. Is that message changing, or?
Well, the message is still make sure everybody is focused on the ice and what it's doing, making sure everybody's on the same page. And really, it wasn't a horrific end. It was just a couple of shots that caused that end. And I think going back and mentioning, hey, listen, we've been all over them for a lot of ends, and getting the confidence back up with these girls. It's really important to bounce back here. They need to score next, and ideally getting a deuce. So, if you look at the scoreboard, down 3, if they take a deuce, force Nova Scotia to 1, they'd be down 2 playing the last end, and you can get a 3 easy in the 5 rock roll. Well, I shouldn't say easy, but 3s are a lot easier with the 5 rock roll than they used to be. So, if you think of it that way and break it down, seems less daunting.
So here's the Alberta lead. Ali Iskew, talked about her also coming from a curling family with lots of pedigree, lots of experience.
Yeah, Beth and Blaine have been here all week cheering her on, and that's quite different from them because them playing lots of competitive curling, juniors, and saw even Breyer, and now they're on the other side and clenching their fists and being worried and trying to cheer on their daughter. So it was nice to see them here all week, and obviously good friends with Heather and Dave Nedewin, who have been here all week as well.
Nova Scotia now, their second stone of this all-important 6th end, leading 6-3. So now is it time for them, Craig, to perhaps hit the brakes a little bit and go on the defensive?
Well, I like what they're doing here. They threw one in, and the second one I like staying in the house as well, and forcing the issue in the middle. So, Alberta's going to ignore those 2 rocks, but eventually they're going to have to deal with them, and that's what Nova Scotia wants, just have a couple rocks in play that they're going to have to deal with. Nova Scotia's going to hope that Alberta doesn't make anything around this corner and start eliminating rocks. They're just trying not to give up a big end here.
Reminder, bronze medal game happening 2 sheets over. Saskatchewan currently deadlocked at 3 with Quebec. Saskatchewan with the hammer as they play the 6th end. Nova Scotia now. So they're ignoring those 2 red rocks, Greg. They're trying to go around that corner. What's the thought process behind that?
Oh, you know what the thought is? Ali did this in the 2nd end and they ended up getting a deuce. So I think that it worked last time, so why not do it again? And Ali's being sharp with those corners and going around. She's been nailing those shots. So that one again, that one's going to be buried for a while. So they're going to do that, and they'll deal with the center later on, but there's lots of rocks to come.
Stephanie Atherton, 2nd stone for Nova Scotia. Looks like they're trying to play a tap, Greg?
Yeah, a little double tap just to get the rocks closer to the center, closer to the button, and keep the play focused. They could also go around the corner and freeze to the yellow and try to eliminate that from counting later on.
Trying to get this one to curl. Looks like it has lots of speed, so we'll see.
This one looks like it needs to slow down a little bit here. Spread some things out. You know, they've got one on the forefoot, which is shot, but it's wide open. They've got that other red actually kind of went to a sneaky spot. It went to the top 12, and it's wide open right now. It's just a little bit buried, so they can run that back onto the yellow one later on, which is only a 2-foot run back, so not too hard for these ladies. So just discussing what they want to do, and you know, Mila has acknowledged that you know, that red one that's top 12 is in a really tricky spot right now because they can always run that back. I like ignoring it at this moment. We gotta make the other team make a shot against us. Why don't we take the easier one, hit, roll to the wing and lie 2 for now, and see what Nova Scotia does. I think Alberta would be happy with a deuce right now, so Nova Scotia might just give you a deuce in this end, and be happy with being 1 up. Nice little roll there to get buried. And we've got this shot that's here now. It's they're right behind this spot right here, and it's just slightly buried. So you're gonna have to come pretty close to that guard to hit it on the nose to make the run double.
5th end to play. Nova Scotia leading Alberta 6-3, but Alberta with some rocks in play here in good position.
Yeah, pretty important just to get rid of one of the yellows. So maybe putting down weight and not throwing normal or peel. But who am I? Because that's what they're doing, right? What do I know? So they might have a bit of a different angle than I do here, but trying to whip it and try to get nice and close to the guard.
Well, perhaps that's why you missed the podium in the men's provincials and PEI this year, Greg.
You know what? Maybe the game's passed me by, Robbie. Maybe that's what's happened.
Doing a heck of a job in the booth, though. There's a great shot by Nova Scotia. Stephanie Atherton making that look easy. Run back double. Nova Scotia lies 2.
Wow.
3.
What a shot. And the beauty was they kept that one in the top 12 in that spot too, so they can use that again later on in the end. But what an absolute beauty. Great throw.
Here we go now. Chloe Fediuk, the 2nd stone for Alberta with her 2nd here in this 5th end. Alberta trying to make some draws, some soft taps, trying to get some rocks into good position so they can perhaps put a 2 or 3 on the board here.
Yeah, so they're just trying to come down here and freeze to this red one. They're really trying to get a rock in a position where Nova Scotia can't remove it. Nova Scotia, there is some room there, so they good. There's a good 8-10 inches there that they could just pick that. They originally called the freeze to it, which it's a tough shot because you don't want to bounce off her. It's gives them a double and lie too. So I like this call.
And when you say pick it, Craig, that means just remove the rock and not worry about where the shooter sees, correct?
You got it. So they're going to try to hit this really thin, about an eighth of a rock, and try to get it over top of that red one. If they put the red, that's okay, but they're just concerned about just hitting that. Oh, what a great shot. And sticks it around. Ah, the red one stuck around too. Great shot.
Greg, what strikes me about this game, and I'm certainly not the curling pro that you are, but so often it seems that when watching curling games, if one team really gets on a roll, it's almost natural that the other team just sort of slows down their momentum. I don't want to say gives up, but things just kind of work against them. That hasn't been the case here thus far. One team makes a great shot, the other one makes one right back. I don't think there might be a 3-point difference, but the score certainly doesn't dictate how close this game's been. Am I off on that? Or
no, absolutely, and I think that's why these two teams are in the final right now. It's for that very reason that the other team makes a great shot and they come back and make an even better shot back at them.
There's a perfect example. Alberta draws in, buried the lie, shot stone.
Just another beauty there. That's about 2/3 buried behind one that's top 12. That's not an easy shot. So keeps forcing Nova Scotia to make these tough hits. Nova Scotia looks pretty relentless though of getting all these Alberta rocks out.
Certainly been some precision play thus far here by both squads. Kate Wiesett III from Nova Scotia. Alberta line one here. Sweepers trying to hold the line, need to get by that top red one as it's diving at that red guard. Can they get it by? Front end working on it, needs to get by. They do so. And once again, a great shot by Nova Scotia as they lie 4.
Well, thank you, front end. What a beauty sweep right from the get-go. Just got by that front red guard there. Oh, what a beauty sweep.
Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, these two collided a few times thus far this season, both at the U18 Nationals in Timmins, Ontario, playing here once again in this gold medal game at the Canada Winter Games. We'll both see each other at the U21 National Championships coming up later on this year. I'll tell you what, Craig, I'm going to be getting the schedule out for that event. If I see these two on the same sheet, I'm going to be circling that one and checking in.
Oh, absolutely. It's this might be creating a rivalry for the future here. These two juggernauts going at each other.
There's another opportunity now for Alberta to draw in.
Just needs to put the brakes on here pretty quick. Ooh, just a little heavy. I think that stopped for third shot though. Looks like red might be only line 2 right now, which is pretty big. Oh, Nova Scotia just signaled that they think their shot. That's a pretty big if red was line 3. Now the important part is, where do you put this? Hard to throw a guard up right now because your rock's actually back 4 and Alberta's just going to come down and freeze to it. If you put this top 12, you're just inviting them to make a double or a triple as well.
So what's the goal on this one, Craig? Just to get in there somewhere in lie 3?
Yeah, so I think what you want to do is you want to bring it into the house and have it a little bit open, the back one a little bit open, just so that they don't have the double and roll behind the guards for shot rock. I think that's important. You don't want this to be a really high guard either.
Sophie
So
Blades.
top 8, keep that back one open would be ideal.
Front end off and on this one the whole way down.
A little heavy here. So not bad, but it gives Alberta a chance to do a couple things. They could just nose this here and stay pretty frozen, and it would be a hard rock to remove. They could also try a hit and roll behind the corner, leave Nova Scotia a shot and make it lie second shot, and hope for a miss by Nova Scotia.
Is there an opportunity for a triple takeout, Craig?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they might be able to make two red ones go away. Maybe the middle red and the back red, but the one in the button isn't going to go anywhere. So I like hitting this right on the nose and staying there, and then it's really tough rock to get out. Looks like the girls are going to try to make a hit, and they're kind of hoping that other yellow is going to come into play, and I don't think that's going to come into play this end. Especially if it's if that top red is shot over the back yellow, then it doesn't look like it's going to come into play.
Nova Scotia, line 3. Alberta with their first skip rock here in the 6th end. Mila Plett, the skip from Alberta, trying to make a play on these rocks, back 4. And not able to stay on the nose, so an opportunity now for Nova Scotia to hit and lie, potentially
3 or 4 anyways.
It's like 3 from our angle. We trying our best here as we don't have.
I feel like I just got another angle here, and it feels like that red one at the top is over the yellow one. Possibly a shot for 4, or to lie 4, I should say.
So here's Sophie Blades. Her last here in the 6th end.
She's got to be a little careful that she doesn't jam this yellow one on the back red one that's in the back 4. So looks like she's probably going to try to get this to over curl, and possibly she can stick around for sure and not jam it. But first goal is to get rid of the yellow out of the rings.
Trying to make it curl now. It's Clooney sweeping, trying to avoid the jam, and
oh no,
that's a bad break. Is there a double opportunity now, Craig, for multiple points?
So I just don't. They might have gotten fortunate that double jams on the yellow one that's on the far right. I don't know if that one goes over top.
You see him talking it over, trying to line up the angles.
This is pretty important, because if it jams, you're going to give up a steal of, possibly a steal of 1 or 2. And it's when you're down, giving up steals is a bit of a disaster.
Well, looks like she's going to try and attempt the double, Craig.
It looks like it, yeah. And they're going to hope that that red one that they're hitting where the broom is right now is going to go over top of that yellow that's biting the back 8. And she's got to stick her shooter too.
The last stone of the 6th end. Mila Plett. Down 3, looking to climb back into this game.
Yeah, big shot here.
Looks like she's throwing some weight at it, trying to move some rocks around. Sweepers on this one. Trying to remove those two reds. Let's see what angle she hits it on. She's able to do so. She gets 1 or 2. Oh, and that's
Oh no.
an unfortunate break for Mila Plett of Alberta. That one looks like it rolls too far, and it looks like a steal of 3 potentially here for Nova Scotia. Looks like 2 at least, but no measure, so could be a big 3 points. Haven't seen the signal yet from the official.
Oh, that's too bad that the angle just wasn't there for the double and to stick around. So unfortunately for Alberta, they kind of caught a break that Sophie had jammed that back one, but that shot just didn't look like it was there. So really tough break.
So we have official word. It's 3 red on the board. Nova Scotia breaking this game open now. Going up 9-3 with 2 ends remaining.